Hello, my name is Brenda Perez, and today I will be talking about transitioning from GED and why transitioning programs are important to have at community colleges. So just a little overview. I will be doing a little introduction of the topic about just GED and transferring and how that process will go. I'll also talk about GED in general. I have worked with my community college department, so Rock Valley College, to talk about GED, the programs, and why a lot of students complete their GED, and the different courses that are available to prepare for the GED exam that I will share with you today. I will also talk about who will need help with these transitioning to college in the GED program. Also talk about why it's important, also talk about what we can do to help. And I do have a success story about a student that graduated from their GED program and how our transitional program and planning can help them in their success. So we will now begin. So again, a little introduction. Today's topic will discuss how students that finish GED programs can benefit from transitional programs or planning to help them get into higher education pathways. Those pathways can be going into a certificate program, a trade, community education, associate degrees, or even pathways that get them transitioning to four-year colleges. So we'll discuss that. One reason why it's important to me is because I am a coordinator of new student enrollment that works with students that are 25 years and older. So in my population, I see a lot of students who do come in with GEDs and have no idea how to transition from GED to college. They have so many questions on how to start, and they always tell me that they wish they had somebody to kind of help mediate that process. So that way, when they come to their appointment, the first one with me, doesn't feel as overwhelming and so much information. One thing that I like is that we started kind of working with the GED department and with our coordinators to build a bridge to make it transitioning a little bit easier. And I've seen this past year how it has benefited many, many students. One of the students, including the success stories that we'll talk about at the end. So kind of moving on. So GED, or the General Education Development, is the equivalent to a high school diploma. It is offered free at many community colleges, including mine, Rock Valley College. A lot of students come in for many different ways to complete their GED. One of the reasons that I put it down here is to get into the workforce. Many students say that they can't get different jobs because they need that diploma, that high school diploma or equivalent, and that's where the GED kind of helps. Others come in saying that they need the diploma to kind of get better job or promotions. I've heard students say that they have been working in their field for many, many years, but they really need that diploma to kind of get that step up. So that's kind of what we see some students come in. Also, we just see some students that have personal goals of wanting to get the diploma. They had to drop out of high school for one reason or another, and never had a chance to continue. And now it's a time for them to come back, get their G, and complete that goal that they would like. The next couple little bullets that I have down here, I was just kind of working with our GED department to see when students come in to take their GED, they complete the application, and then they get to take GED classes if that would benefit them. NRS 3 and 4 is the lowest level of GED classes that we offer. It's the equivalent of grade 4 through 8. These students are not as ready as others to kind of transition to college. They will need to take a couple of these prep courses to kind of get up to that level and then kind of get them ready to take that GED exam. Students going into NRS 5 and 6, these are more equivalent to students that are in ninth grade or higher level. These students are pretty much ready to take that GED exam sooner than our NRS 3 and 4 students. A lot of them can go in and take the courses and the GED classes to kind of help them prepare for the exam. Again, some are just ready to kind of go take the exam and complete it just from there. Many of these students are ready to kind of talk about transitioning to college programs, kind of talking to our GED workers, as well as our new student coordinator that works for diverse students. They say that a lot of students that do place into this level are kind of looking into going into higher level education. So getting those associate degrees, getting those associate of applied science certificates, and going into trades. So this is a very good group to kind of start talking about that transitioning while they're in their classes or preparing for the GED exam. So who are we targeting to help these transitioning programs or planning? So individuals who already completed their GED is one that we're kind of trying to target to kind of get their help. These students already completed their GED, and now they kind of need the next steps to kind of going into those higher level programs, certificates, associate applied science, and anything else that they want to complete. Our institution has tracking for students who have completed that. We have data that we can kind of collect. That's how we've got a lot of our students that already completed GED kind of transitioning on. Students that are in the NSR 5 and 6 GED courses are another individuals that we can kind of help target to kind of help transition. Again, talking with our GED staff and our coordinator of diverse students. A lot of these students are coming with the idea that they want to go into higher education after they complete their GED, or try to get better job opportunities with certificates or those associate applied science. Again, individuals that are just looking for job opportunities might be another population that we can be targeting that have taken those GED courses. Again, people do their GED for many different reasons, and job opportunities is a big one. And again, individuals just looking to better their education. A lot of students say GED is my first step to kind of going into higher education. Now, where do I go from that? And that's kind of where these transition programs and planning kind of step in. So what are some things that we can do to help? Kind of just talking to some students that went through the GED program, talking with the GED department, as well as the coordinator of diverse students. These are the things that we offer as a community college to kind of help, and that many other colleges offer or should offer as well. Informational nights. So having students that are in the GED classes or just completed their GED, having nights specifically for them to come in to learn about the different programs that are offered at the community college, like what degree programs we offer, what certificate programs we offer. Also helping with the application. Sometimes if you have never attended college or don't know anybody who's attended college and you've done that GED or now transitioning, that's a big step for somebody to come in to do. So kind of offering that help will really be beneficial to those students. Also discussing different resources to them will be really beneficial, which goes into my next point. So having those students that are transitioning from GED know their resources really, really helps. A lot of them are very worried about like, I have been out of school for so long, or I just got my GED, like, will there be resources to help me with different materials? This is where we can kind of talk to them about different tutoring services that are available at the community college. Another big one that always comes up is that they are scared of the tuition prices that are there. So kind of helping them and explaining to them that there's financial aids, FAFSA might be eligible for them. Also, a lot of them are still undecided where they want to go career wise. So having our career advising or counseling, just different resources like that, knowing that are available to them at the main campus is really, really beneficial to them. I've had students come in saying that after their first meeting or these informational nights really, really kind of helps lift that stress, knowing that, okay, this could be a possibility for them. Having a main contact. So having a contact that students can kind of talk to when they are in their GED program and then when they are transitioning out, having a familiar face and meeting them, not just sending everything via email or via phone call or via flyer is really, really beneficial to them. For example, at Rock Valley College, we have a coordinator of diverse students who she goes in and talks to the students while they're in their GED program and courses, when they take their exam, and when they're ready to kind of transition. So they kind of know that they're putting the face to the person that's sending them emails and those phone calls. Um, so that's one big thing that I've seen that's really helpful at our community college and that I've heard at other community colleges helps as well. Also, sometimes just helping students by knowing other students' success stories can be a really great benefit. A lot of them think that they're alone in this journey of transitioning from GED to higher education. So, kind of sharing those stories. Um, some of the people that work at the GED department have gone through the GED themselves, and kind of say their success stories, but we have other ones that we share on our website, or like I'm sharing today, um, through our presentation. But yeah, just kind of sharing these really benefit students because some of them don't have anybody to look up to because they may be the first one graduating with a GED or going to college themselves. I know I kind of transitioned and kind of talked about a couple events connecting to what we do at RBC, so my community college. But again, we have like an information night just for our GED students. So we have information that's directed just to our GED students that are in the program. So again, those ones that are in like level 5 and 6 or have just taken their exam or have just graduated from the GED program. Sometimes we've seen that this helps them get their information because sometimes going into the big college level nights or the big events that we have can feel overwhelming for them just because they're like, I haven't thought about college. I haven't done school. I'm just trying to take it one step at a time. So having something very targeted to them, I've seen has been very beneficial. I've seen them be more open to asking questions because they have seen peers that they were in their GED classes with them. Usually these events are a bit smaller. Sometimes we have them on our big main campus locations so they can kind of see what that looks like. And sometimes we go to them on their location where they have their GED or the GED classrooms. So that way it feels a bit more comfortable. That's just something that RBC has done that we see have been a benefit. So maybe doing these in progression with our transitional programs or planning can be really helpful. Another thing that I've seen is having a direct transition coordinator. So like I kind of mentioned before, we have a coordinator of diverse students. She works with our ESL and GED students. She is available to them so they can ask any questions, ask about transitioning, ask about programs, or get on any wait lists that they may need to be on. One thing that I really like is that yes, she'll get emails from her, get phone calls from her. She also goes to their classrooms or their campus where we hold the GED because it's not on our specific main campus, just so they can know her face, know that she's a real person and not a robot, kind of just sending these emails. We've seen that that really does help with these transitioning programs, just because a lot of students are more open and trusting when they see that they have somebody that's kind of helping them through. Um, so I've seen a big benefit from that. One thing that when we were brainstorming how to kind of do transition GED programs and our planning is offering campus tours. When students graduate from high school, they go on campus tours, they get to see different programs, meet professors. Why can't GED students do the same thing? So we started doing this and we've seen that it really benefits a lot of students. So we offer GED students to come to our main campus. They could do one-on-one tours. We can do group tours. We've done it for our specific programs. We have something called aviation maintenance technician, where it's at the Rockford Airport, where you get to see the different technicians working, the airplanes. We brought students out to do that. We've also brought students just to the big main campus so they can see what it'll look like when they go to the campus, take some classes, or even we have our health science center where all our health programs, certificates, nursing is all in there. And sometimes that really kind of helps click what programs might be of interest. So that way they're just not looking at a booklet, just seeing programs listed one by one. They get to see them there in person. And that can really be a big spark to seeing if they kind of want to help in transition. So why is it important for students to transition? Students need that sense of feeling supported. So once we kind of get that connection, students will feel supported from the staff to help them transition. So again, they're working with our GED department. They are working with our diverse student coordinator. That way, when they transition to working with new student coordinators and advisors, they feel supported all the way through. um, Another thing that I see that's a really big benefit, and also it's just kind of a big barrier to some students, they don't know their resources. They are very scared that like GED was free and now I have to pay for classes. How do I do that? Or how do I even transition? Or will there be any support for me once I kind of go onto the big main campus? So kind of just letting them know their different financial aid resources, advising, tutoring, all of that's available to them can really be a great weight lifted from their shoulders. Also kind of creating a sense of belonging, having events that are very targeted to our GED students have been really, really big help because again, sometimes when they see big college events or big like events that we're having on campus that's kind of catered to everyone can seem very overwhelming, especially if you were just like taking baby steps to do your GED program and now you're kind of thinking of transitioning. That can be a lot. So having those programs that are just guided towards our GED students have been a big help. So just having them see different peers that were in their classes or having smaller group sizes in comparison to like our big college units that can have anywhere from like 50 to 100 students can really help them just because they're more comfortable asking questions and getting help with that application or getting in touch with those resources. Um, Also, kind of just letting students know that they can start their education and higher education journeys at any age is really, really helpful too. I've had students that have been out of school for 5 to 10 years come to me and say like, oh, I think I'm too old. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Just letting them know there's other students that are in their same shoes that want to kind of transition from GED to 4-year programs, 2-year programs. That is never too late for education. Also helps students towards a better future. Like you kind of mentioned in the beginning, a lot of students are working towards their goals, whether they're academic or personal. So just, getting those diplomas, getting those careers, maybe getting a better job or promotion. I've seen a lot of students who just want to get like a degree under their belt or maybe even transition to a 4-year school. Having these transitional programs or planning sessions really, really do benefit those GED students. Now, I want to share a success story that we had recently from our GED graduating class of 2024. Her name is Adel Ray, or we call her Ray. She was a student that has been out of school for a couple years. She really didn't know whether going back to school was for her. Her mother kind of guided her, saw some information about Rock Valley College's GED program. She decided to sign up and kind of get started with her program. She really, really got good benefits from working with our GED program coordinators, our courses, and our diverse coordinator for new students. She would ask so many questions and try to get different resources whenever she could. So we would help her provide her with that. She really was talking to our coordinator and said that she really liked working with children and maybe early education would be for her. And she has a goal kind of getting a daycare. So kind of looking at her programs, we kind of found that kind of working on her early childhood education certificate was the best pathway for her to kind of get that under her belt because she wanted to kind of get a job because that was kind of a barrier for her not having that GED or high school diploma. So we were kind of working with her to get that certificate down on her belt. And her goal in the future is to come back and get her associate in applied science in early childhood education. She would really love to become an early child education teacher or have a daycare and run that on her own. And just having the support from our GED staff and our coordinators really, really helped her kind of get that. Our coordinator, Mara, who was our coordinator of diverse student, loved working with the student. We even asked her, like, what worked this year? What do you think we will need to bring in the future to kind of help future students? And she really kind of helped us on this journey of kind of helping other GED students transition. We really do take students' advice and their other things that they see that we might need to better in the future to heart because we will really kind of help initiate those to benefit other students in the future. So in conclusion, it's important to kind of think of our non-traditional students. So again, our GED students when we're transitioning. Um, just like students that are graduating from high school, they need help transitioning from high school to college. So do our GED students. A lot of them don't come with that background of knowing how to get into certificate programs or 2-year programs, or even trying to go to 2-year to 4-year programs. So it's really nice to kind of take in mind that GED students really need that help, and having those transitional programs built in or planning sessions built in really do benefit them. Also, letting students know that they're in the GED program, that they have resources that are available to them is a really, really big help as well. Um, a lot of them come in with that concern of like, can I pay for school? GED was free. Now, what can I do from here? Or like, will I have tutoring? I don't feel like I'm at the level of where I can do college level courses. All of that can kind of help them too, especially when we are talking about placement exams and application. Kind of having somebody let them know the resources like, hey, we're here to help you with the application, with financial aid, and everything and beyond. Really, really kind of helps them. That's why, again, it's very important to have these transitional programs or planning sessions available to our GED students that are able and wanting to transition. And also, last point is students like Aldi Ray, or Ray, as we call her, are great examples of why transitional programs and planning programs really succeed. She really took advantage of speaking with all the GED staff, speaking with Mara, meeting with our advisors and all of our resources to kind of go in. Now she's in that certificate program on track to graduate with a certificate, and in the spring to transition, hopefully, to that Associate of Applied Science for Early Education. So just seeing those, how we can kind of better the future, better opportunities and jobs is really, really beneficial. So that is all that I have for my presentation today. Here are a couple of my resources that I use. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you find this topic as interesting as I do and as important. Thank you so much and have a nice day.